She revealed, "I'm pregnant, but I need a DNA test to confirm if it's yours or Kyle's." I responded calmly, "No issue." Then we booked a DNA test. What the doctor shared at the appointment flipped everything. I'm Jake, 31, and was cooking breakfast when my girlfriend Reese, 28, dropped the bombshell. "I'm pregnant," she said, clutching a pregnancy test. I set the spatula down. We'd been together 2 years, cohabiting for 6 months. It wasn't planned, but I wasn't upset until she added, "I have to be honest. I'm not sure if it's yours or Kyle's Kyle, her work buddy who sent her daily good morning texts. The one she'd insisted was just a co-worker when I questioned her 3 months ago." I turned off the burner and sat. "Tell me everything." She started sobbing. It happened once, maybe twice. We were working late on the Henderson project and things just happened. When? About 6 weeks ago. Right around the time we were working through our rough patch, when she'd pushed to reconnect and initiated intimacy more than usual. "So you were sleeping with both of us?" "It sounds awful when you put it like that. How should I put it?" She got defensive. "I'm trying to be transparent here. I could have kept quiet." "You're right," I said evenly. "Thanks for telling me. Let's schedule a DNA test." She looked shocked. "You're not angry?" "Oh, I'm livid. But yelling won't fix this. When can we do the test?" "We have to wait until I'm at least 9 weeks for a blood test or after the baby's born." "Blood test it is. Book it." She hugged me, crying about how understanding I was, how I'd be a great dad, how this mistake didn't change her feelings. I hugged her back, then went to the bathroom and threw up. That afternoon, while Reese was at work, I called my brother Ethan, a nurse. "Quick question. Can you do a prenatal paternity test at 6 weeks?" "Possible, but 9 weeks is safer for accuracy." "Why?" "I spilled everything." "Dude, get out now." "I need to know first." "Why?" "If it's not yours, leave. If it is, leave," she cheated. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. But I had a plan. Reese thought I was a pushover, the safe guy who'd raise another man's kid, no questions asked. She was wrong. First, I gathered evidence, screenshots of her texts with Kyle, left open on her iPad at home. Nothing explicitly sexual, but plenty of "thinking of you," and "last night was incredible" messages from the time frame she mentioned. Second, I called Kyle. "Hey, it's Reese's boyfriend. We need to talk." He hung up instantly, called back 5 minutes later. "I didn't know she had a boyfriend." "Really?" "She lives with me. She said you were roommates." "Did she mention she's pregnant?" Silence. "It might be yours." "What? No way. We used protection. Every time?" More silence. "I can't have a kid. I'm getting married in 4 months. You're engaged?" "Yeah, to Aria. 5 years together. And you're sleeping with Reese?" "It was a mistake." "A couple times, a couple?" Reese said once or twice. "Maybe 4 or 5 times. Aria can't know I hung up. 4 or 5 times, not once or twice." Update 1. The DNA test was in 2 days. Reese was playing the perfect girlfriend, cooking, cleaning, extra affectionate. She was also texting Kyle constantly, thinking she was sly. What she didn't know? Kyle was texting me too, freaking out about his wedding, begging me not to tell Aria, offering to pay for an abortion if Reese agreed. Real charmer. The night before the appointment, Reese sat me down. "I've been thinking, maybe we don't need the test." "Why not?" "Even if it's Kyle's, you're here. You love me. Biology doesn't matter. It matters to me." That's so outdated. Lots of men raise non-biological kids by choice, not because they're deceived. She cried. "Why are you so distant?" "I'm not distant. I'm logical. We need facts to decide. Fine. But when this proves you're the father, you owe me an apology for doubting me." The nerve. She cheats, admits the baby might not be mine, and I'm supposed to apologize for wanting proof. The next morning, I called in sick to work, told Reese I had a meeting. Instead, I went to Kyle's office. He saw me in the lobby and tried to bolt, speed-walking to the elevator. "Kyle, we need to talk about tomorrow." His co-workers stared. He stopped, face flushed. "Not here," he whispered. "Then where?" "You dodge my calls." We went to a coffee shop nearby. He was sweating. "I'll sign away rights," he blurted. "If it's mine, I want nothing to do with it." "What about Reese?" "What about her?" "She's your girlfriend, who you slept with multiple times. She said you were basically done. We lived together. She said it was just for convenience that you were moving out soon." More lies. I was seeing the pattern. "Show me the texts where she said that." He scrolled and showed me. Reese had been telling him for months, we were practically roommates, that I was emotionally unavailable, that she'd leave soon. She'd been lining up her backup plan. Kyle if it worked out, me if it didn't. "I'm sending these to myself," I said, forwarding the screenshots. "Don't tell Aria. I'm not your relationship counselor, Kyle." "Tell her yourself he left looking sick." "Good." Update 2. We went to the appointment together. Reese held my hand in the waiting room, acting like a nervous mom-to-be. The nurse called us back, took Reese's blood, then turned to me. "Oh," the nurse said, checking her chart. "Mr. Davidson, we have your sample from last week." Reese's head whipped toward me. "Last week?" "Yeah," I said casually. "I came early to save time." A lie, but Reese didn't know. The nurse looked puzzled but professional. "I don't see a record." "Could you check under my full legal name?" she typed. "Oh, there it is. Filing error, probably bless nurses who can read a room." Reese was suspicious but couldn't call it out without seeming paranoid. After the blood draw, the doctor, Martinez, an older woman with warm eyes, entered. "So, we're doing a prenatal paternity test?" "Yes," Reese said quickly. "Just to confirm." "I see. Mr. Davidson, you're a potential father?" "One of them," I said clearly. Reese nudged me under the table. "One of them?" Dr. Martinez raised an eyebrow. "There's another potential father, Kyle Morrison. He couldn't make it." "He doesn't need to be here," Reese interjected. "It's definitely one of you two." "Actually," Dr. Martinez said, "for the most accurate results, we should test all potential fathers." "Kyle's not available," Reese said fast. "Odd," I said, pulling out my phone. "He texted he's on his way." Reese paled. "You invited Kyle? We all need clarity, right?" 20 minutes later, Kyle arrived, looking like he was facing a firing squad with his fiancée, Aria. The waiting room got tense. "Why is she here?" Reese demanded. "I told her everything," Kyle said quietly. "She deserves the truth." Aria glared at Reese. "You're the homewrecker sleeping with my fiancée?" "I'm not a homewrecker." "I didn't know about you until..." "Until when?" "Kyle says you've known for months," Dr. Martinez stepped in. "Let's all calm down. Mr. Morrison, we need your blood sample." As Kyle followed the nurse, Aria called out, "By the way, Reese, I'm 3 months pregnant. So congrats. You might have given my baby a half-sibling." Reese's face was unforgettable. A week later, we returned for results. The tension was palpable. Reese hadn't spoken to me in 3 days after learning I'd brought Kyle and Aria. Dr. Martinez entered with the results. "I have unexpected news," she began. "Just tell us," Reese snapped. "Mr. Davidson, you're not the biological father." My heart sank, though I'd braced for it. "Mr. Morrison, you're also not the biological father." "What?" Everyone spoke at once. Reese yelling about faulty tests, Kyle demanding a retest, Aria laughing hysterically. "However," Dr. Martinez raised her voice, "there's more." The room quieted. "Miss Thompson, your blood work revealed something. You're not actually pregnant." "What?" "Your HCG levels indicate a chemical pregnancy, a very early miscarriage that wasn't viable. Your body has already processed it." The home test caught HCG during that brief window, Reese sobbed. But I had symptoms. Morning sickness. Stress and anxiety can mimic those, doctor, Martinez said gently. So there's no baby? Kyle asked, relieved. No baby. But the paternity test? I started. We tested fetal DNA in her blood from the non-viable pregnancy. Neither of you are the father, meaning a third guy. Reese was a mess. Kyle was stunned. Aria looked at me with something like sympathy. Who else, Reese? I asked quietly. I can't. Who else? There was this guy at the March conference. It was nothing March, 3 months ago, when she attended a work conference. Anyone else? She just cried harder. In the parking lot, Kyle tried to talk. Man, I'm sorry. Save it for Aria. Aria approached me. You okay? I will be. You handled this with more grace than I would have. I'd have torched everything, days not over. She smirked. Good luck. They left, Kyle trailing like a scolded puppy. Reese was by my car. Can we go home and talk? You go home? I won't be there. You're leaving me? After I lost a baby? You cheated with at least 3 guys, lied, and tried to make me raise another man's kid. I hoped it was yours. Hoped? She grabbed my arm. Please, I need you. You should have thought of that before. I got in my car and left. She called 36 times on the drive. I didn't answer. Final update. It's been 2 weeks since the clinic chaos. Here's the fallout. Reese is staying with her sister, Mira. She tried a social media sob story about me abandoning her during a miscarriage, but Aria's comment with the full truth tanked it. Reese deleted her accounts after. She showed up at my workplace last Monday, causing a scene, calling me heartless. Security escorted her out. My boss, who'd heard the story via office gossip, gave me the week off, paid. Nobody needs that drama. Kyle and Aria are still together. She's got him in counseling, and per mutual friends, he's on lifelong probation. He quit his job to avoid Reese and works for his father-in-law's plumbing business now. Karma. The conference guy, Derek, was another Reese was texting, hoping he'd leave his wife. He blocked her when she mentioned the pregnancy scare. The kicker? 2 days before the test, I'd signed a lease on a new apartment. I was done. Test or no test. I just needed to ensure no child support liability. The morning after the clinic, I moved out while Reese was at Mira's, taking everything mine, most of the apartment, since she'd moved into my place. Left her clothes, makeup, and a garage sale couch with a note. Rent's paid till month's end. After that, your problem. She claimed illegal eviction, but she wasn't on the lease, just a guest who overstayed. Mira apologized to me. Reese had bragged about juggling guys, calling me her safe bet, and Kyle her fun option. Mira warned her it was cruel, but Reese thought I'd never find out. She's always been like this, Mira said. In high school, she'd date the nice guy while hooking up with bad boys, then play victim when it imploded. Sorry you got caught in her storm. Reese is on dating apps now, her bio claiming she wants a real man who can handle a strong woman. The delusion's real. I'm in therapy, processing trust issues this caused. My therapist says I handled it well. You stayed composed, got facts, protected yourself legally and financially. It feels less like strength and more like survival. Lesson learned. When someone shows their true colors, believe them. When they say they're pregnant with a possibly not yours baby, get a DNA test. My friend asked if I regret not giving her another chance. Another chance to what? Cheat with 4 guys instead of 3? Lie about 10 things instead of 5? I'm good. He bought the next round. The best part? Last week, an unknown number texted, "This is Derek's wife. Heard you were Reese's boyfriend. Can we talk?" She'd found Reese's messages to Derek post-conference. We met for coffee. She brought receipts, literal ones, from the conference hotel, room service for 2, champagne, the works. My husband claimed it was one drunk night, she said, But you don't order room service for a fling. Nope, I agreed. She's divorcing Derek, taking everything. Good for her. It's been a month since the implosion. My new place is smaller, quieter. No drama, no lies, no 2 a.m. texts. Just peace. Reese sent one last message yesterday. You threw away something real. I replied, I know exactly what I threw away, and blocked her. Edit. Why go through with the DNA test if I was leaving? To ensure she couldn't come after me for child support later. Cover your bases, edit 2. Yes, this is real. People are this messy. If you've never met a Reese, you're lucky. Edit 3. To those saying I should have been more sympathetic about the miscarriage, it was a brief chemical pregnancy with some conference hookup's baby, while she tried to pass it off as mine. My sympathy was spent.